All right, that first video was a little bit longer than I'd hoped to go, but that's okay. That was just importing our projects. That was pretty big. So what we're on right now is making a new sequence. Now, normally what we do is we drag and drop, but we're going to try a different way today. Then we're going to start editing and thinking about our logical placements where we're going to put stuff. And what we might do is put them on layers, media, aerial, follow, and close-up. I don't know. We'll check it out in just a second. So anyway, let's go ahead and make a new sequence now. So we're in Premiere now, and I'm still in the editing screen here. So I'm going to go ahead and, of course, there's our folder view. You guys know how to do all this, change the views, you know how to scrub things as well. So I'm going to press tilde, which is below escape on your keyboard, and bring it back to my normal setup. As you guys know, this is generally the way I like to do things. I like number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. So let's go ahead and make a new sequence, and let's put it in our sequence folder. So this, again, this is what we look like. Now, if you wanted to, you could put all these in a media folder. In fact, you know what? I think I'm going to do that just to kind of make things a little bit more organized. So I'm going to press tilde key to make it bigger. And again, tilde just makes it really big. Click here and tilde. So I'm going to take all of these, which are all my elements, all my media. Remember, media is what? Pictures, video, and sound, which is what all this is. I'm just going to drag and drop it down to this folder and just call it media. And then I'm going to make a new folder called sequence, S-E-Q. So generally speaking, those are the two folders that he taught us how to do and I've taught you how to do. So hopefully it looks something like this. Now, sometimes you got to go 1, 2 to get to the file. So that's not too bad. 1, 2 files. So let's go ahead and make our new sequence now. So I'm going to start in my sequence folder. I'm just going to click. Oops. I can now make a new sequence a couple different ways. I can go to File, New what? New Sequence. That's one way. You guys can also do a sequence from, I don't have a clip selected, but sequence from clip. Or you can also go down here, which is what I'm going to do today. So click here. There's your sequence. Now, we've used this before doing our adjustment layer, which we're going to come back to in a little bit. So new sequence. It's going to ask us what type of sequence do we want. So remember the opening set, it was designed for YouTube on the web. So which one of these would be best for YouTube on the web? Well, probably social media. Let's see what's here. So here's social media, and it doesn't really tell us the size of it. If we click on it, what is this? This is going to be in there. This is going to be how big? 1080 by 1920. So those are the wrong sizes. And as you know, you can keep looking through these things and find the right one. There's all your 1080p's through there. Here's all your 4Ks, 21p. Here's ultra high definition. Again, same type thing, 2160p. Here's your custom if you want to do a custom. Here's your legacy ones. Legacy ones are ones we don't really use anymore. These are kind of called deprecated or just not used. So anyway, let's go ahead and do a 1080p, I guess we're going to have to. And then when we export it, we'll take it down. So here's our 1080p. Most of the shots were done in 24 frames per second, and that's really what that is. So what do you want to call it? Well, your main one you call PR04, and this is called Porsche. O-R-S-C-G. And that will be the main sequence. Click OK. And there it's in your sequence folder. And here it's already started. So we've got to bring over our files now. So what I'd like you to start with is, I'm just going to start with the drone shots. And over here, you can put them there. So what I like to do is I don't even think about it. I'm going to bring everything over and then work on it later. So my logic is if it's on V1, it's done. If it's on V2, it's good. If it's V3 or V4, I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm going to just start with this shot. And of course, what I like to do is to double click on it. And I'm going to make it a little bit bigger so I can see it. And I'm just going to drag and drop now. And not drag and drop yet, but I'm going to look at it. So this is a pretty good shot. It just shows a Porsche car driving away into the distance. You know what? This might be a good end shot. But I don't know. So what part do I want from it? Well, there's my in point and there's my out point. And I'm just going to drag the video only on this. I'm just going to keep it way up high here. Next one, I am going to keep existing settings because remember, these files were a little bit bigger. These were the 2160s. So what do I want from this? Well, again, scrub it back and forth, see what you want to get from it. There's a good shot, aerial or drone shot of it going by. So I kind of like here to here. Now, again, I don't want to bore you guys doing all of my editing, but this is kind of what you're looking at doing right here. So these first ones, I'm going to put them on this upper layer. The next ones I'm going to put on V3, and I might even make a new layer. I'm going to add track up higher, and there it is right there. You can't really see it, but there it is right there. So keep all your layers high until you know what you're doing, okay? I'm going to pause the video, and I'm going to bring over every single one. Now, word of warning though, some of these have some good audio, so you got to play it and try to listen to what's going on. If you've got a good, then you can use that and keep the audio. Well, it took me about 10 minutes to bring everything in, but what you want to do is double check. So just look that you got blue on every single one. I didn't do one. I didn't think that was very good. I think everything else I did. Close-ups, I used every single one of those. Now, most of the close-ups were about the kids, so kind of remember that part. The drone shots could have been anything. So what I'm going to do now is take a quick look at my layers. So if you'll see down here, I've got 3 different layers. So these were the drone shots up top here. So I'm going to highlight those guys and give them a different color. I'm just going to right click, and how do we do that? We do a label. I'm going to make these kind of nice and blue, dark blue. Good. These ones are just the kid one right here, so I'm just going to right click on those. I'm going to label those. I'm going to label those maybe, how about rows? And it doesn't really matter what you do. Now these ones were the long ones. These are all the car-to-car ones. So I'm going to highlight those guys, right click. I'm going to make those probably bright yellow, so those kind of stick out. Of course, there is no yellow, of course, now that I wanted yellow. So what would stick out to me? How about, there's yellow, but, oh, I guess it's not too bad. So now your job is to kind of put these, kind of splash them around a little bit. I'll give you a little bit more guidance on that. So I'm going back to my original instructions here. So what you'll see is that we've just done the new sequence. That is done. We just did some editing. And I say you really can't start editing until you know how long it's going to be. Well, I would like you to plan for about a minute or so. Now, there's 2 different things we might do. We might use, actually we might do both of them depending on how things work out, but we're going to use the boy and the middle-aged man to do our voiceovers, or we might just use ChatGPT to write a story as well. So depending on what's going on with that, we'll do that. But how about next video? Well, what you should do right now is to start placing these around. And what I'd like to see is some nice placements of where you're going to put stuff. But basically, I want to see a lot of colors. I don't want to see all these colors, then all these colors. Now, again, I can't tell you exactly what to do because it all varies, but I should see like a blue, a pink, a yellow, a blue, a pink, Jesus, blue, a pink, a yellow. So you kind of go through it like that as best you can, okay, guys? Now, some of these are really long. You have to edit those down. Or remember, of course, you can right-click speed duration, speed them up as well. So go ahead and bring all those down. I'm going to kind of work. You notice I'm on V4 and V3 layers right now. I'm going to take everything kind of up to V5. And now my final placement is going to be V1. I might have some like text or some placements here as well. So try to bring these down and move them around. What I'm going to do is try to start off with a kid, intermix it with a car-to-car, a couple drone shots, go back to the kid, and kind of move it around with that. Okay, good luck. Take care of business. Start bringing things down into the video 1 layer.